Peace, reflections. I am you, and you are I, universe. Hold up, I'm gonna get my crystal game right. I be holding the crystals that call me whenever I do anything. Like if I do an activity and I feel like I need certain energies, you feel me? Those crystals will call me and I'll hold them in my hand. So I'm channeling that energy and bringing out deeper energies while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, right? Like let's say, for example, I'm making music. We're gonna get into the topic of this video, but I'm just, getting this out the way because I feel a need to talk about this real quick. When I'm doing music, for example, I might hold green adventuring, right? Or I might hold rose quartz if I'm feeling like making a super deep love song, right? I might hold lapis lazuli if I'm trying to really open up my throat chakra and say my words clearly, or if I'm just trying to channel like deep divine truth or speak roll. I might hold amethyst just to, open up my third eye. Amethyst is a writer's stone, so it's really good for anyone who's like a rapper or a poet, or anyone who like writes stories, like an author, and just creativity in general, art in general. Amethyst is good for, right? But you feel me? Like I'll hold these different crystals to channel these different energies. You feel me? I might hold a solar plexus stone like citrine if I'm trying to channel something from the soul, more raw. You get what I'm saying? Etc. 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 But so as y'all can see, I'm out in nature with it. You feel me? We out here in nature. Nothing too big. This spot ain't that big, but it's big enough to be some form of nature. You feel me? Like it's probably like a 10-minute walk from one side to the other, if that. It's called the Mount. I said it in my other video, and I didn't even explain that it was a nature spot. I just called it the Mount, like y'all would know what I'm talking about. If y'all don't live out here in Mount Holly, where I'm at in New Jersey, because I live in New Jersey, we know the map is a lie. You feel me? But all the continents are connected. It doesn't look how they're showing you on the map. This is really the ancient realm of Atlantis. So if you want to know what the realm really looks like, pull up a map of Atlantis, or like any of those maps of Middle Earth, or like maps about the Lumerians and the Ice Wall, right? And you're gonna see there's like one giant landmass with all the continents connected, and that's what the map really looks like. You feel me? It might not be exactly like they're showing you, but that's what the map looks like. All the land masses are connected. You can get to Africa from right here in America through the Grand Canyon, and so on and so forth. You can get to any spot in the realm, Russia, Australia, any of these places you can get from right here on America without having to get on a boat or fly an airplane. You can get here on foot. You can get there on foot or in a car, you feel me? But within that being said, and deeper, once we activate more, we're going to be traveling through the Makerba, so you're really not going to have to do shit to get anywhere. You're going to be able to spontaneously teleport and go anywhere that you see in your mind and just travel in spirit form and soul form through the Makerba, right? But within that being said, the title of this video, right, what I'm going to be talking about while I'm out here in nature with it, channeling all these raw frequencies, you have to free your mind first. Let me see if I can angle this better so y'all can see me better. I know that sounds kind of cloudy and shit. But look, you have to free your mind first, and all else will follow. You feel me? Free your mind first, and all else will follow. So instead of trying to force your way into being more spiritual than you're currently at, right? Even though this is in our soul as Blacks, Latinos, as Anunnaki gods, we breathe so-called spirituality. It's in our essence to meditate, to have our third eyes open. We come into the realm with our third eyes open. They only pollute us and drop our frequency, and they tell us lies and pull us outside of self and never let us go in nature or tell us any deep truths about ourselves or our planet. They tell us all these lies and put us in this artificial reality of countries and America and the 3D physical reality where everything is just 3D, and if you don't see it, then it's not real. Everything has to be touched and seen. And meanwhile, you got Wi-Fi radiant around you. You got all these frequencies around you. You got these radio FM frequencies. You got the UV spectrum. 99% of light and sound and frequencies are outside of the perception of your 3D auditory senses, like your ears, your eyes, your taste, your nose, your smell, your sight, sounds, hearing. Like your ability to sense is very limited until you raise your frequency, right? Because we're starting on the 3D, a lot of us, so we have to build back up because we dropped all the way down We drop down to this physical density, into this physical reality, you feel me? Now we're just merely reopening back up to all the things that life is above this 3D, all the higher forms of energy, all the higher vibrations, because as soon as things vibrate faster than the 3D, you get to the 4D, the 5D, the 6D, and these are just densities. Instead of even saying dimensions, you can say third density, fourth density, fifth density, because the higher you go in density, you literally are raising up to these higher dimensions. The access into these higher dimensions is by raising your density, raising your vibration. You feel I? So within that being said, you have to free your mind and all else will follow. You have to reprogram how you see reality. You have to remove the fear. You have to change how you see this food. You have to change how you see your relationship with putting things in your mouth or anything that you put into your body, what you drink, what you eat, what you ingest through your sight, your hearing, what you ingest in all these different forms. You have to question why you wear cloth. You have to question what nature really is. What is it that's growing out the ground that knows how to grow itself? And what is it that told it to grow? What is it that's in the soil that is commanding all these plants and trees and things that fuel your being, the real things for you to eat, the plants and the fruits and the herbs and nature? Everything from nature, if you notice, is good for you, besides the things that are designed to be poisonous. And really, it's not even designed to be poisonous for us. It's because these human beings and how much they destroy nature, and everything is energy. So you know how when you pollute a neighborhood, it becomes toxic? If you pollute nature and you kill nature all the time, this is why so much of nature has thorns everywhere, and it grows thorn bushes, and it's because they're trying to find ways to protect and keep you out of it. Nature's adaptive, it's smart. A lot of the plants that are growing out of nature right now aren't even really there in its pure state. Nature's in a survival state as well, and it's becoming like a result of all the aggression that was enacted upon nature. So now nature is aggressive. So now nature will grow poisonous plants to kill these foreign invaders. That's really why it has all these poisonous plants and stuff. Really, there shouldn't be any poisonous plants or any thorns in nature. There shouldn't be any mosquitoes. Those are man-made. Ticks, man-made. Any parasitical bug is a man-made thing made in their science labs. These scientists be splicing and making shit all the time, creating weird diabolical creations and shit all the time. A lot of the animals and things you see around you aren't even real animals. A lot of the trees we see around us are cloned and made, man-made. But because the real trees are huge, 10 times, 30 times, 50 times bigger than any of the trees you see down here right now. But so within that being said, ticks are all man-made. Parasitical bugs, all these things that are like, that you deem as like bad traits of nature, it's really these human beings that made it to keep you out of nature. They don't want us to be in nature, the Blacks, Latinos, indigenous beings. Because they know if we go in nature, we're going to get charged up. We're going to get strengthened. We're going to start getting all these downloads to our third eye, to our soul. We're going to start remembering, activating. And we're not going to want to go back in that house. We're not going to want to go back in the concrete jungle for out in nature long enough. Especially if there wasn't no mosquitoes and ticks out here. And the cold's breaking down. Cold's going away. So especially now that it's getting warmer and warmer on the road, and we're able to be outside 24/7. Is you kidding me? Within that being said, nature is naturally going to kill off all these ticks and mosquitoes. Watch. When we raise the frequency, we're naturally going to purge and rid all these lower vibrational aspects of this matrix. All these low vibrational toxic things in all forms are all going to naturally eradicate and erase away, including the system itself. It's burning, it's dying. The old world is dying. We've shifted fully into the new reality. We just have to become it more and more and acclimate to that frequency. The system is fading away. Within that being said, again, you have to free your mind. Because once you change your thoughts, change how you see reality, once you open up your own soul, once you unlock your soul, once you remove the lies they put into your soul, once you free your mind, once you open up your third eye fully, once you see what everything really is, then you'll naturally stop eating the food. Even if you're addicted to it, you're not going to be able to stomach it anymore if you fully know what it is. You're going to naturally be out in the sun, naturally start to breathe deeper, because you're going to naturally be in tune with all these deeper energies because you opened up your mind to what reality really is. Open up your mind and all else will follow. What I'm trying to get at is, instead of trying to do the work first, which we do need to do the work, like meditate as much as you can, push yourself to eat as many fruits as you can, and fight off the craving for any low vibrational, nasty, man-made food. But at the same time, it's like if you just do the research, for example, like let's say even if you did eat some of the man-made food, the whole time you're still absorbing and watching all these videos telling you about the poisons in the very food you're eating, telling you about the diseases it causes, telling you about how fruits and plants heal, and you're watching all these videos about these people who do it that show the reality's real and they're not dying, they're not starving, they're years into eating only fruits, fully raw, vegan if you want to call it that, fruit, fully plant-based, herbalists, shamans, gurus, all types of people sharing their journey, that if you tap into these frequencies, you'll see more than what's possible. That's what I'm saying by free your mind. You have to open up your mind and decode the illusion of the limited 3D reality they had you boxed in. You know how you think most of everything outside of logic and science and physical reality is impossible? They told you what life was before you can ever go out and experience it, and you just keep pushing that program and limiting life from what it really could be. How do you know there aren't mermaids if you've never even seen the ocean, never been in the ocean? How do you know there aren't fairies and elemental earth beings if you never go deep out into nature, when they're discovering new insects and bugs and plants all the time? That should show you right there they aren't even from the planet. These human beings, these white scientists, what would they be doing all day long? Every day I see a new article about discovered a new plant, discovered a new element, discovered a new this, discovered a new resource, discovered a new bug, discovered a new fish, discovered a new animal. The hell? I just saw something about they were saying they discovered a new monkey. The fuck? But y'all came from monkeys though. No, monkey was the stage that these human beings were in before he got them to the Neanderthal stage. It's like if you're trying to write up a song and you got 5 drafts before you got the final version. Those versions before the final version are going to be a little rougher than the final complete version that you decide was good enough now to then be released as the actual full project, the full release. The full, you feel me? He had many prototypes before his real creation was created. And even the Neanderthal was still primitive. It was still nowhere near us, because Zeus was trying to create a perfect replica to us, but the flip for us, like the evil version of us. That's why he made them white. Even though it wasn't fully his decision, but it's like, we're carbonated, we're full of life. They lack, they're pale, they're lacking. They're like these ghosts. I'm not even trying to put it like that. They're like energetically dead. That's why they call them the Caucasoid, Caucus, like a carcass, playing words. But within that being said, right, free your mind. I keep saying within that being said, just let me channel. Words are art. I'm channeling frequencies. I talk how I want to talk. You should talk how you want to talk, and don't let anyone judge you to make you feel like you shouldn't talk that way. Be yourself in all ways, as long as you're not being evil and hurting another being to do so, and stomping on someone else and standing on someone else. As long as you're not keeping someone else from expressing their self equally like you. Express yourself to the fullest. We need more authenticity. We need more real energy. We need more people speaking their truth in this realm. That's why I do so much to have us all in fear and anxiety and herd mentality. You feel me? Everyone's all cloning each other's personality and shit, copying each other. No one wants to stand out and look like the odd one out. I'm more than the odd one out. Let me be the black sheep fully. You feel me? But so yeah. Free your mind and all else will follow, almost effortlessly. It's going to be a natural transition the more you open up your mind. The more you open up your mind and really take all this serious, because that's the thing, the more you open up your mind and see that this is really real and not just in the middle where you're like not sure of it. A lot of us are in that middle space to where we kind of take this serious, we kind of tapped in, but we didn't fully go all in. We don't fully believe that we're gods. Like, we think we're gods, but we don't fully understand and feel to the core of our beings that we are gods. And if we did, then this matrix would already be over. The moment enough of our species fully understands they're a god and fully stands in that frequency as carbonated beings, 9 ether beings, supreme beings of the cosmos, cosmic royalty, as soon as enough of us on this planet stand in that frequency, this matrix is donezo. And it's getting very close to that time, yo. That's why it's getting so hot out here. That's why y'all see Europe burning, y'all. That's why y'all see winter breaking down more, y'all. So you see everything getting stranger and stranger. And you see this matrix is trying to, I don't even be tuned into this matrix frequency anymore. But every time I do retune back into it and I be watching what's going on in the matrix, you see there's all this political bullshit, all this dumb shit happening in reality where they're really trying to amp up and create this race war. But we're way past that. The real ones, the chosen ones, the ones who really got their third eye open, we see all past that shit, bro. We're way behind any of their fuckery, any of their media tactics, any of their low vibrational shit, ploys, deception, media. We see all past that shit. So within that being said, keep raising y'all frequencies, keep tapping in. You feel me? Do everything you gotta do. The energy's here. Don't move with any fear. The end of the system is coming near. Ashe. Peace to the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai. Now we rise. One.